I one of the quotes that you have in your book from Keith, he said, "You can never have enough. I love what I do. I love making money. I love making my friends money. And this business is a safe way to make and preserve wealth."
Yeah.
And I love that because, he's saying, I love to make money. I also like to serve others that and show them how to make money or make money with them or for them in a safe way, and then also preserve that wealth. So, again, not very many people listen to this podcast, but we're told, give our money to somebody else, let them manage it for us. And then that our goal is to work for 20, 30, 40 years and then, quote, retire. And I live in Southwest Florida, so I see this every day, is that, retire, do nothing, play golf, and just float into the, and wait till you don't wake up the next day. I mean, it just sounds like such a depressing business plan. A life plan.
It's not a business plan. It's just how you end. It's how you go off into the sunset.
Yeah.
But some people can do that. There's some people that are perfectly fine with that. That's probably 80% of the population. But 20% of the population, they need some challenge in their life. They need a purpose. They wake up in the morning. If they don't have something they have to accomplish that day, they're just a mess. I think that's you. I think that's me. But 80% of the population, I think, is perfectly fine retiring at 55, 60, 65 and hanging out at the golf course all day, watching the reruns and going to dinner at their favorite restaurant that they eat at 3 times a week. I mean, a lot of people are comfortable with that.
Yeah. That you're exactly right. Some of the people that I know that are retired, it's almost like they want to brag about how old they were when they retired. Right. And what I always want to talk about is financial independence, because we don't really want to retire. We want to do what we want to do when we want to do it, regardless of what that is. Right. And but when I see somebody, there's actually was a study done. I can't remember the details, but it showed that people that retired at 55 versus 65 actually died sooner.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If you have no purpose in your life, you're going to wind up going real fast. I featured a client in my book. He's no longer alive, but his name is Henry Weiss. And the guy was in his 80s. I remember him stopping into my office. Guy owned like hundreds of apartment buildings. And he's like, "Brent, what do you have for sale?" And at that point, I was still in my 20s. And
yeah.
Mr. Weiss, like, why? Why do you want to keep buying buildings? He's like, my doctor told me I need to keep something, something to keep me busy. And I just thought, okay, well, I guess this is giving him a purpose in life. This is keeping him alive.
Yeah.
And he lived another 4 or 5 years, but I thought this is probably the only thing this guy has going. He has no hobbies. There's nothing else of any interest in his life except acquiring real estate. Doesn't want to manage it. Doesn't want to deal with it once he buys it. He just likes finding deals. It's sort of the art of the hunt.
Yep.
The chase. He just loved that. And a lot of people do. They just search for the next deal. That's how they get their kicks. That's what gets them excited, is searching for the next thing to do. It's this hunter-gatherer approach. Obviously, these guys are hunters.
Yeah.
And there's other people that are gatherers. There's the Indians or the cowboys and the sheriffs, as we call it in our business. And he's the cowboy. And the sheriff sits there and does all the bookkeeping and pays all the bills. And he's out there just wrangling the cattle. So it depends on what you want to do and what your mindset is and how you're wired internally, I guess.
Yeah, no, I love that. I always tell my guys that my resignation will be in my obituary. So because I always think to your point is, if I was a professional golfer, which I love to golf, when would I want to retire? I would want to retire when I was 85 or 95 or whatever.
You'd want to retire when you can't swing a club anymore, man.
That's right. When I can't swing a club anymore. And by the way, I know guys that are 85 and 90 that can still play pretty good. Yeah. But so I love that. So okay, because I really think that if you're in real estate, you should read this book, and I think you're going to get some nuggets out of this, some examples, some motivation of people that have done it. And just like you said, if they can do it, why can't I? Tony Robbins always says, you know, if you want something, find out somebody else that's done it, find out what they did and do that. Right.